Hi everyone, it's Lavinia and welcome to Inktober 2025. I am participating in the Zentangle prompts and I am using this calendar which I got from a kit from Minutes of Zen, but you don't have to do the calendar if you don't want to. Today is day 7 and the prompt is called Rambles, Rambles. And I've drawn here a couple of different variations. So it looks like a ribbon. To me, this also could look like, it reminds me of the gymnasts when they do their acrobats with the ribbon, the floor exercises, or if you ever had a cat with a cat wand with a ribbon, that it's sort of that movement, or even a scarf, like a silk scarf. So there are different variations. So I was just playing along here just to see, and then how it kind of gets created. There's different ways. And so I'll show you the one that I prefer. And so as far as for my tools, today I'm using these two Artist Loft pens. These are from Michaels. It's a 0.5 and a 0.1. And just to give you an idea, the 0.5 is a thicker line, and then the 0.1 is a much finer line. You don't have to have two. I just want to just give that a try. I mean, I have all these ink pens, so I thought it would be a good opportunity during Inktober to use my tools. Then I also have my blending stump and this is a 4B Mars Lumograph Statler pencil. I'll be using that to draw some outlines as well as use the graphite to blend it in. And then I also have this pencil. It's Pedigree Empire. This happened to be in this color pencil box of Derwent that we got at a garage sale. So I'm going to go ahead first and draw it on the calendar. So again, this is sort of what it looks like. Let's just go ahead and break it down. I have my bijou tile. We'll be using that a little bit later on. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my pencil. And I actually like the way that this one looks. You can also tilt your paper and have it go long ways or sideways like that. That's a cool idea too. And maybe I will do that on the tile here. But since this seems to be a little bit longer, I'm going to use it just straight down this way. So I'm just going to go ahead and sort of do like that S shape. Let's see if I can get, so just like that. And then the next thing is we're going to go ahead and connect these lines. So this, let me see if I can come down a little bit further. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead, I think I'm going to bring this just a little bit further on up, and we're just going to go ahead and bring that down, give that a little bit of a curve. Okay, and then from here, we're going to go ahead and just also kind of give it an aura or an outline. So just going to come from here and come on over here. And then here at the bottom, sort of the same thing. We're just going to come on over like that. And then here is the next part of that ribbon. And then there like that. So there are different ways where you can draw your straight line and then have it curved. But let's go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and ink that in. I think I'm going to flip it this way. So I'm using my 0.5. So I'm just following along that S shape, and then I'm just going to go ahead and ink in. And you can embellish if you'd like. And then with the thinner line, I'm just going to go ahead and aura this. So just like a little tiny border. I'm going to ink that one better. So like that. I'm not going to embellish this particular one, but I am going to go ahead and just color this in. Maybe I will give the edges that color. Okay, and this one is Rambles. So that is it. So let's now go to the tile. All right, so here's our bijou tile. I'm going to write Rambles on here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and let's see, I think I want to go ahead and draw it like this. So we're just doing that S. It's almost like a double S shape like that. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead. Again, you could, if you wanted to, one of the options is, you know, make your line here like this. And then just come around. Just give it that little bit of a curve and come around like that. And then your next, and then you're just oraing or outlining this line. So you can start from here and just come around like that. And then the same thing here, you're just outlining this line and coming to here. So if you wanted to put that little bit of a line there, you're just following that and coming like there. And then the same thing here. You're just following that outline and coming down like that. This one, I'm just going to come up here. So now to ink it in. And before you do the aura, if you wanted to ink the original line, you could do that too, because that could be easier also. And you don't have to do the pencil lines either. I think I'm going to move that away. I think I'll add a couple of little embellishments like that. Then I'm just going to come here with the finer tip and just give it that other little border. Okay, so that's what this one is looking like. And then what I did on this one is just on one side. So let's just say the top. That's where I just put these tiny little bumps. So let's say this is the straight line. I just did little bumps like this. And then I put little dots in the middle. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Maybe I will grab the 0.5. Actually, I have a 0.3. Let's see what that one looks like. So it's sort of in the middle of that. So I want the bumps to be here on the top. So this is the top of this. So I'm just going to embellish it this way. This is not something that you have to do if you don't want to. You can maybe make other designs. You can embellish here in the middle, sort of like what I was doing here is I was doing a dash and a dot, a dash and a dot. You could most certainly put circles in there. You could do stripes, whatever it is that you want to do if you want to embellish it. And of course, most certainly you don't have to. I just thought this would be a fun little addition. Just adding a dot here and there. But that is it. I'm going to end this one here. It's also pretty like this. If your name starts with a W or an M, I think that would be pretty too. But just like that. I kind of like it like this. So let's go ahead and see about adding it here. I don't know if I might just want to, might be a little bit too small or too thin, that spot there. Maybe I can somehow maybe add it here. I'm thinking maybe I could just add it here. So let's see. I don't know if that'll be too close. I think I'll ink it first. Do I want it there though? That's the question. Yeah, well, we'll see what it turns out to look like. I think I'm going to use my 0.1 though first. So let's try it this way where we ink it in first and then come back. Okay. So I think I'm going to start from here, where maybe this comes this way, like that. And then this would be where the next aura would be, and it comes down here. Then we're going to aura this line, and it comes down here. And then this one comes here. So we'll do it like that. Then just going to add that border. Actually, I kind of like that now that I see it attached to this one here. I think that's pretty. And I am going to add the graphite to this one, so you'll see how that looks. Okay. Actually, I do like that. I could probably add maybe another one, but for now I'm going to leave it at that. So as far as for the shadow or the graphite, I'm going to add it here where these bends are. This would be tucked under the star right and that border. I could give it another aura as well. Let me think about that if I wanted to add. No, I think for now I'm going to leave it like this. And then as I add more tangles, we'll see what it looks like. But this is Rambles, so a lot of curvy lines. I definitely love this. And here it is with the color pencil. So I hope you give it a try. Again, practice. This is one of the ones where I practice a little bit just because of the curves. But thanks so much for watching, everyone. Take care. I will see you in the next one. Bye.